I'm Ray.
And I'm Veronica.
And welcome to the Chick Lit Book Club podcast,
where we read a romance novel and then we talk about it. Today we're talking about Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert.
Yay!
Yay!
So this will round out our Black History Month.
It will.
Here at the podcast.
Yep.
I'm going to spoil and say fucking love this book.
Uh-huh.
And I'm glad we're the last two people on the planet who have read this book.
Literally, everyone else has read this book. But us. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely, again, spoiler alert, I want to read the other ones now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I want to know more about Redford.
I do.
Yeah, he's funny.
I love the sisters. The sisters are great. I mean,
the sisters are amazing.
I'm very excited about Chloe.
Yeah. She's funny.
Yep.
I have a quote from her written down. It's so goddamn funny.
Yeah, this is a good book, guys. Good book.
It is a really good book. I am very glad that you put it on our list a year and a half ago, or whenever that was.
I know that this week has felt like 6 months, but it's only been a year.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Veronica. Tell me something good.
Excuse me. I choked on my own spit a few minutes ago. So
that was not the bright spot.
That was not the bright spot. No. But I still have a residual tickle in my throat because of it. Anywho, my bright spot for today / the entire week, because the last week has been rough. I took my kids sledding for the first time today.
Fun!
It was awesome.
I'm jealous.
It was super fun.
I'm guessing she enjoyed it.
She fucking loved it. We started off it's not like a huge hill. It was like a good starter hill for her. And so we started no, there's actually across the street and behind someone there's a hill. So we just went back there because we knew that they wouldn't care. And we started halfway up the hill. And she did fine. Got her used to that. And by the time we left, she was all the way up the hill. We had to keep her out of the thorny bushes just because she wanted to keep going up. And I was like, I don't know. I think maybe we just stop here. She loved it. We wore the dog out, which was nice. And it was super fun. She loved it. I lured her back to the house because the wind was terrible today.
It was.
It was cold as fuck. I mean, I think that I checked the temperature, it was 19 degrees, but with the wind chill, it felt like 1. Yeah, and so it was just brutal. We all had 2 pairs of pants on and hats and gloves and just, it was awful. We all
love it.
We're very cold. And so I lured her back to the house with the promise of warm cocoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can pretty much lure me anywhere with hot cocoa. Be
fact. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. That's how I'll get abducted someday.
Because warm cocoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be some guy in an Olaf costume be like, you want some warm cocoa?
That's what it is. Yep.
Yes, I do.
We'll be like, yeah, and then I like warm hugs. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then I'm in a ditch.
And then you find me in a field.
And then Keith Morrison is interviewing you about, how you feel. About having to find a new co-host.
Any warning signs? Was there anything you were concerned about? Yes, she said that she would follow someone named Olaf who promised her hot cocoa.
And warm hugs.
And she was obsessed with crime documentaries.
And she got a hug to her neck.
Yeah, so, I feel like maybe there were some warning signs. Keith, Jesus. I don't know why you're asking me this. Hey, Ray.
Well, yeah.
Tell me something good.
So I mentioned it on the last podcast, but it came to fruition. So on my other podcast, Boobs, and Blood. Booze, and Blood. That's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. It's a tongue twister. Ayo.
The B3. We, my other podcast host and I, Ween, who's been on this podcast, and the 3 of us are all friends. We went to a Valentine's-themed haunted attraction.
What was it called again?
Cupid's Revenge.
There you go.
1, it was fun. 2, I was drunk as fuck. So, 3, should have got a hotel room.
Yeah, I was unsurprised when I started getting drunk text messages. from both of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it fun, though?
Super fun. What was really funny is that I was so drunk that no one was scaring me. Like, I wasn't, like, hammered. I remember it, but I was, like, walking through. I would just, because I was in the lead, because I'm also, like, almost 6 foot tall. So, I mean, like, yeah, I'm going to go first.
And Ween is very short.
She's very short.
Yeah.
And people would just come up and just scream in my face. I was like, hey, what's up? And I keep walking. And at one point, I got so angry because one of the animatronics wasn't working at the very end. And it's very large animatronic. And I couldn't record through it, which I kind of figured I wasn't going to be able to.
Yeah.
But, and I was sitting there waiting. I was, like, jumping around trying to get it to start. Like, I didn't know if it was motion censored. And I was so depressed. And so the next room after that, I went up to one of the actors and I said, your animatronic's not working.
Oh my God. They were probably like, that fucking woman back there.
Yeah. They're like, thanks. And I'm like, you don't understand. I wanted to see it.
You don't understand. I drove an hour to get here.
Yeah.
The least you can do is make that fucking thing work.
I don't care if you have to, like, go behind it and scream. I paid for this. I want to see
and
it.
Move the little arms yourself. Like, you had better.
Yep.
Rude.
Well, I apologize for the drunk text. The only one I remember is sending you a video.
Yes, I did get the video.
Yeah.
That was a particularly rough day for me, so I was not totally cognizant.
We didn't really want to, bother you, but I was like, but maybe this will make her laugh.
It did make me laugh.
Yeah.
It did.
But that was, yeah.
Awesome. Because, I'm glad you guys went.
It was fun. It was super fun. I was like, and I had gone with to another one with at one point a couple with our other friend
with Lee, right? Yeah.
And so and the trick is just have enough liquor in your body that it doesn't fucking matter. You're like, whatever, dude. Okay, cool.
That would probably be the way that you'd get me there.
And honestly, it wasn't like.
Although I might end up crying in the corner because I don't like. It wouldn't be about being scared. I don't like being drunk. That's really the issue.
Oh, well, no, I mean, like, if you're buzzed enough, like, you're just buzzed. I think it would be fine. Like,
yeah, I'd probably be fine.
And the other thing is, that most of these
if my husband, if Mr. Veronica were there, I would definitely be fine because, like, he can calm me and level me out.
Well, and a lot of times, too, like, these places, they don't touch you, so they can't really, like, so it's just jumping out. It's just jump scares. That's the whole thing. It's just pretty much jump scares. So, I mean, after the first couple ones, you're like, okay. I know something's probably going to jump out.
Something's going to jump out of that dark corner over there.
Yeah.
There's an obstruction. I assume someone will come out behind that.
Yeah, and scream in my face. It's fine.
Yeah, I might feel the urge to punch one of them. That's a concern I have.
That was my concern, too.
Yeah.
It was like, am I going to get so scared that I'm going to punch somebody? I'm like, nah. No, I just didn't care. I was like, cool. Thanks, guys. You're doing a great job.
You're doing a great job.
Doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. Did you see the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre trailer?
I did. Well, you sent it to, or no, we talked about it via our group chat at one point.
Yeah, at one point, but I saw it today or yesterday or something, like for the first time.
Yes.
With like the girl sitting in like the car or the truck or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like behind her. I was like, ugh.
Yeah. I'm very excited about it. Very excited.
Very intense. It's
very intense, but I think it's perfect. I think the person they have directing it is perfect for it because he's very. It is a very female-centric. I mean, that's where you get Final Girls from. That's what the term Final Girl comes from, and I think that and Halloween, but mostly it's Sally. Sally is, well, Laurie is the last girl, or the final girl too, but I mean, so it's very female-centric of the woman, there being one final girl who defeats the monster, or at least gets out. And so the guy who's directing it is very cognizant of that and has made very female-oriented horror movies in the past. And
nice.
Deftly, with a deft hand. So I'm very excited.
All right, I like that.
Yeah, so.
Perfect.
Yeah, I got to get on reading that book, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Women and Chainsaws.
Yeah. Anywho,
do we have
some cards here.
Yes.
I do have cards. You know, it was really funny as I was.
Ooh, did you see the Bridgerton trailer?
Yes, I did. Cool, yeah, because I sent it to you because I said, holy shit, Penn.
Yes, I am excited. I am very excited.
I am too. They darken Penn's hair. It looks almost auburny color now.
Oh yeah, it's not like it's coppery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I figured they'd have to do something soon because I mean, not that whatever her name is, I can't think of it.
I can't think of her name.
Whatever.
Her actual name.
Yeah, she's not pretty or anything, but it's like the ginger. I mean, makes it just that really coppery, bright red was not
right.
Not doing it for the eyes, man.
No, well, and also she's dressed in fucking yellow.
Well, and that's in the book.
Right, which is in the book. I mean, that's intentional, but it's hard to see. Like, first, she is a beautiful human, but they had like this, like really coppery color in her hair that didn't really do her complexion any favors.
No.
And then they put her in yellow, and all of that is intentional. But like it detracts from how gorgeous she is.
Well, and I think the other thing too is in the first season, she has all those little tiny fucking ringlets right next to her face.
Yeah.
And it's such a little girl.
Yeah.
And that just was a bad time for hairstyles in general.
Yeah. And also I think they're trying to like make her seem younger, you know, like cuz she
Yes. Yeah. Cuz she's like
cuz she's not like in society yet. She's not been introduced yet. Right?
She has.
She has?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't think I realized that.
Yeah.
Even Daphne's hair I hated. Like those little tiny...
Yeah, those stupid things in the front.
Yeah.
It just was not a good time for hairstyles back then. But I did notice that at the end, they don't have... Her hair's down for once because she's writing. Mm-hmm. But I'm almost wondering if they're... Because in the fourth book, it is very... It's pretty like... She makes a comment, Colin makes a comment about how she's lost weight. Like, not that he hasn't noticed. And he's like, I never noticed. Like, I never noticed, like, you being heavy before or whatever. And something along the lines of that. But, like, I wonder if what they'll do with that. If they'll make her lose weight.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Because and I don't know if there'll be backlash if they do.
Because I kind of hope they don't. I hope they just dress her more nicely.
And that's the other part of that book too. She loses weight and she kind of like she starts to be able to dress herself, like kind of pick out her own clothes. So she's not wearing orange and things like that. But it's one of those like, if they do it, I bet you they stay away from it because I'm sure there'll be, and rightly so, enough people who are like, there are enough like beauty standards. We don't need her to have to lose weight to be pretty, quote unquote pretty.
Right. I mean, agreed. I don't know what the hell they're going to do. I would hope Shonda would not perpetuate that, but
right
who knows? We'll find out, I guess.
Anyhow, love that fucking book.
Yes.
Anywho, I'm gonna pick a card.
Please do. Card, any card.
I swear to God, we've had this before. It feels like something that they've done before. I'm looking because I swear to God, I think we have. Because really, what it is sex with somebody. Okay, over easy. It's a 5 out of 5. Oh, that's right. Hold on. Over easy. She lies on her back with the genitals lined up at the end of the comfortable chair or bed. He stands or kneels depending on the height of her vagina and is able to concentrate on her clitoris with his fingertips while thrusting inside of her. So she's laying across the chair. That's really what it is.
Huh. Okay. I'll bet if her head is back, she gets like a head rush, which like...
Ooh, that would be nice.
Yeah. It's kind of like the asphyxiation without like, you know, the danger of killing yourself.
The autoerotic asphyxiation, yes. How Agent Mulder was going to go out in the X-Files. Yeah, also I would like to show you his legs in this card. Can you see it?
Hang on, I can't see it.
Take a picture of it. I'll send it over. Because it does not look like the most comfortable for him. And
I mean, like, that's why, like, countertops are convenient, right?
Yeah, or pianos, like in Poison Ivy. Do you remember that movie?
I don't know if I saw it. We know I don't see movies.
Of course you never saw it. No,
of course I didn't.
But I mean, but enough you heard about it because it's pretty well known being like a almost a soft core. It's got, what's her name? Drew Barrymore in it. Tom Skerritt.
I just read a book that had like countertop sex in it. No, I don't remember what it was.
But this is like, so it's a chair.
Oh yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like countertop would be a lot more comfortable because it would be higher for him.
Right.
It's not presuming he was high, or a table.
Or a table, like a certain book we read. This one. We'll just say that we're going to go with this. We're going to say that this is this. All right. Over Easy was...
Take a hint, Dani Brown. There you go.
There you go.
There you
I
go.
like it.
Because there was a table involved, which would be a lot more comfortable for him than a chair.
Yes. Yeah, some of these are... I'm looking back through them just because I'll forget them, FYI, before when we go on. But some of these are... Some of these are pretty lame. I mean, the one I'm looking at right now is just a blowjob, and then the other one is cunnilingus, but she's standing and he's sitting. Cool. So
she does make a comment in this book about how faces are not for kissing; they're for sitting.
Love this book. All right. Wow. As I try to struggle putting these cards back in this very warped package. That's what she said. Why don't we take a break and come back and talk about this book?
Yes, let's take a brief respite.
We'll be back. 2 and 2. Did you find the place okay? Sorry, it's kind of loud for a Saturday morning.
Yeah, it's fine. Why are we at the park, though?
Well, I wanted to start running drills.
Drills?
Yeah, like one-on-one passing.
Like soccer?
Yes! We need to hone them skills! Season's half over!
Wait, what is happening?
I figured we need to get in football shape for our new Ted Lasso podcast.
Okay, to be fair, it will take more than just this to get us in football shape. Also, I have a lot of questions.
Best way to understand the sport is to live it, right? Jason can use that in season 3.
Okay, legitimately, that's a really good line. But right, we don't have time to start an offshoot podcast, and no one has time to edit it.
But that's the great thing about Anchor.fm. Anchor will do all of that for us in one little place, like our own little Coach Beard.
I know, that is one of the best things about Anchor. It's free, and the built-in tools allow us to record and edit your podcast right from your phone.
Plus, they'll distribute it to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, so many of the other podcasting platforms. Wait, how good is your Roy Kent impression?
Why would I be doing a Roy Kent impression?
I've been working on mine. You want to hear it?
No, there's kids everywhere. Little ears don't need to hear the F word this early.
So we're not doing this?
No, honey.
Man. What am I going to do with all these soccer balls and goldfish?
I don't even want to know why you have actual goldfish.
To visualize being a goldfish. Will you take half of them?
I can't guarantee my kid's not going to kill him, but yeah, okay.
We're doing this.
I believe we are not doing this.
Oh, I believe we are.
No, but we're not, though.
Be curious, not judgmental.
Right, I'm not being judgmental. I'm being realistic.
Come on.
It's a great... it's
Barbecue
a great
sauce!
Oh, we don't have time. We just don't have time.
Onward!
Forward! No, you're starting a horror movie podcast with Charlotte. We don't have time.
I believe and believe.
Oh, God. And we're back.
We're back.
Bitches.
Yeah, I didn't have my bitches in there. Feels off, man. Feels off.
It does. Feels wrong.
It does.
Are you super excited to talk about this book?
I really am. I'm very excited. I'm like not that I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have really many expectations going in because
right.
I don't. But I was very, very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I didn't know that much. I had only read the description, and of course I've seen a bunch of TikToks recommending it, but I didn't know that much about it, which I kind of enjoy sometimes, just going completely blind into a book. I wasn't sure, we'll talk more about, I'll bring it up in my meet. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get into it, but then I did, and then I was super excited.
Well, and I same. I was just thinking about this is one book that I don't believe I read a review of going in. I mean, I read the synopsis, but that was it. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't read any reviews. I don't love reading reviews because I find it not helpful.
Well, and I think that's why I try to make mine as, like, spoil-free, but at the same time, like, you're going to know whether or not you want to read it.
Yeah,
And,
that's one of the reasons that I don't like to give, like, grades or anything for ours, you know?
Well, and that's why I stopped giving them. Because it's arbitrary, too.
And it's so subjective.
Yeah. I mean, I still do stars, because you have to.
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, and that, to me, is very subjective, too. It's like, I mean...
Right.
Because maybe I don't want it to be 3, maybe I want it to be 2.5. And I'm specific that I want it to be 2.5. Like, something like that. But
And also, like, one thing I do appreciate about Amazon and Goodreads is that when you hover over each star, it'll tell you, like, it'll give you a guide. Like, I liked it. Or I loved it. Or whatever, you know. And then that kind of helps me, like, based on their guidelines, like, I can figure out sort of how I feel about it. But if I wanted it to be like 2.5 or 3.5, I would indicate that in the review itself.
Well, and I think, and I have gone on, obviously, about in this podcast,
ad
and
nauseam.
in reviews that about how I feel about why people give things bad grades. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you if you're gonna rip someone's work, which is, it's your opinion and it's your right to do so, but you better have some facts, and you better have, like, reasons why to support that.
Right.
Not just, I mean, like...
Or, like, examples.
Like, I mean, although, I'm not going to give somebody a bad review because it's not my thing.
Right, yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But this was definitely... I was nervous just because it seems like a new adult, almost, but not.
I can see what you mean. I mean, it takes place at a college, but she's a PhD student, and he's 30.
Yeah.
So
getting into it, like, made me, I was like, oh, just because I didn't have, well, and also I'm a little gun shy because of the love hypothesis. So yeah. And
I didn't read it, but I know you did not enjoy it.
No, nope. Again, shocker, which shocked me because, you know how I feel. I know we've talked about it on here too. So
I was surprised you didn't like it either, but I mean, you know, whatever.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have the synopsis up? Do you want to read it?
I do have it up. I can totally read it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, this is...
We're getting all fucking neat and shit in this, man.
All right, so this is Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert. Danika Brown knows what she wants: professional success, academic renown, and the occasional roll in the hay to relieve all of that career-driven tension. But romance, been there, done that, burn the t-shirt. Romantic partners, whatever their gender, are a distraction at best and a drain at worst. So Dani asks the universe for the perfect friend with benefits, someone who knows the score and knows their way around the bedroom. When big, brooding security guard Zafir Ansari rescues Dani from a workplace fire drill gone wrong, it's an obvious sign. PhD student Dani and former rugby player Zaf are destined to sleep together. But before she can explain that fact to him, a video of the heroic rescue goes viral. Suddenly, half the internet is shipping #DrRugby, and Zaf is begging Dani to play along. Turns out his sports charity for kids could really use the publicity. Lying to help children? Who on earth would refuse? Dani's plan is simple. Fake a relationship in public, seduce Zaf behind the scenes. The trouble is, grumpy Zaf is secretly a hopeless romantic, and he's determined to corrupt Dani's stone-cold realism. Before long, he's tackling her fears into the dirt. But the former sports star has issues of his own, and the walls around his heart are as thick as his thighs. The easy lay Dani dreamed of is now more complex than her thesis. Has her wish backfired? Is her focus being tested? Or is the universe just waiting for her to take a hint?
Yeah, I don't really... Well, I guess the other big part that we'd probably want, because it does play a little bit into the plot, especially farther along, would be, or into the general storyline, is that she has a upcoming, like symposium.
She's going to be on a panel with, like, her idol.
Right. So she's working even harder than she normally would.
Yeah.
And
she's stressed out.
Care of herself as well as she should be. And so Zafir recognizes that.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to think of what else you kind of need to know.
This is the second book in a 3-book series. There are 3 sisters. So if you have not read the others, or if this is all new to you, the first one is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. And the third one is Act Your Age, Eve Brown. And you meet both of the sisters in this book.
Do you know what the grandmother did to amass the wealth?
So their grandmother, wasn't she an entertainment star?
But it could be anything.
Right. I mean, I got the impression she was like an actress or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she brings up at one point, like, Gigi's, like, how did she put it? I have it here, page 185. I actually have this bookmarked because Gigi, like, helped kind of incidentally prep them for life and entertainment. So when this video went viral, she was more prepared for it. So it says she was lucky Gigi had coached all the Brown girls on the nature of fame long ago, just in case any of them ever followed in her showbiz footsteps, or alternatively took part in the Great British Bake Off and got caught screwing Paul Hollywood on a field. That had been the example provided anyway. Gigi was a firm believer in Paul's raw animal magnetism.
It's the eyes, man. It's those blue eyes.
It is. It's happening. And like the contrast with like the like silver fox thing he's got going on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he should be all like angry, like Simon Cowell, but he's really not. He's got some animal magnetism. I'm with you, Gigi. I'm with you.
I'm also with you, Gigi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't, if it might have said, and I just don't remember, but I got the impression she was like an actress or something.
Yeah, could be. Just wondered, because, I mean, she makes a comment early on about, like, moving out of the family's mansion, so.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I had forgotten, where are her parents? They're just, like, overseas or something?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
I forget. I feel like that's mentioned very early on, and I just forgot.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. They're not in the book. Like, they don't play a part.
No, and they don't really have, it's the sisters and the grandmother, I think, have a stronger bond than with the parents anyhow, so.
It sort of felt like it. She literally did not talk to her parents in this entire book.
No. And
the book takes place over, like, a month. So, I mean, how close could you possibly be if you haven't talked to your parents in an entire month?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's normal for you, but, like, I mean.
Well, and even Gigi knows about the panel that's coming up and things like that and how she's preparing. I mean, I would assume her parents have no clue. So.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, not even just, like, you haven't talked to your parent, but, like, as the main character in the book, you haven't even mentioned them. Like, you're not even bringing them up. Like, I talked to my parents last night. None of that. There's none of that. There's no mention of her parents, like, her interacting with her parents.
Mm-mm. And it sounds like she's, like, of the 3 sisters, too, the one that kind of holds back more information than the other 2.
Yes.
So,
yes.
The only thing I think we should say is that this takes place in England. Mm-hmm, and so...
Talia Hibbert is from England.
She's British. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so the other thing is this Inez Holly, who is this professor that Dani is, like, obsessed with.
That's her idol, right?
Yeah. She's one of the only, like, I think she's one of 30 black professors in England. Mm-hmm. So she's in Britain, I should say. And so she's very excited. And Dani herself is black. And then and the reason I bring it up because it's a little bit different of culture in here too. Because Zafir is not, he's Pakistani. He's Pakistani
Muslim.
Yes, but I'm trying to think. He was born here, so but
like in England, right?
Yeah,
but his family is Pakistani, right?
Right. So there's just those two things that
and I liked that. It's not one of my it's not one of my quote buns, but I like that. I think all of the characters in this series are interracial.
Yes,
which I loved. I mean, please show more of that, please. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I'm sorry to say that responsibility probably falls on authors of color because I don't know about anybody else, but like I would hesitate to write a main character of color, you know?
Right, because how the hell would I know their struggles?
Right. I mean, I would be terrified to do that. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like I would not do it justice. Is what
I think you and I had the same conversation and Lee actually when we read
Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Yeah, because like, I don't know if I could write for a gay person.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could write a gay man, like not as a main character.
No, I don't. Yep.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
What are you drinking? I don't know what's in that can.
It's a Monaco. It's a little thing. It's got like it's a malted beverage, but it's got like vodka in it.
Ooh, delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm drinking it out of a fun metal straw. Anywho, so how we do this on the podcast is that we have a compliment sandwich, where our top and bottom buns of the sandwich will be our pros, and our meat in between will be something that we didn't care for as much. So our con. Would you like me to go first?
Yes, please.
So I could easily just be like, Zafir!
Yeah.
He's my pro. But it's not just Zafir. So Zafir is amazing. Guys, like, he's amazing. Like, he just is, it's an amazing character. He's drawn so well, and it's like literally everything you want from a hero. But what I really enjoy about him is how he loves Dani. Because it's pretty evident to us as the reader, but and I'm not spoiling things because it's a fucking romance novel.
It's a romance novel.
But he's in love with Dani, like, way before the whole
like
thing,
fake relationship happens.
Yep.
I mean, he doesn't admit it to himself, but he definitely is.
He's actually talking himself out of how much he likes her.
Yep.
Because he just is like, I think she might be gay. I think because she's bisexual.
Right.
So he's like,
and he had seen her with like another professor or whatever.
Yeah,
so.
Joe.
Right.
Yeah. So he's like, and I don't know if she would like me. Blah 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 blah. So he's already talked himself down, I should say. So when they actually start dating, it's like now he has the free range to go ahead now and love her as much as he does, and the things that he does for her, because her big hang up relationship wise is like she just thinks, I don't want to go into it because it is a big kind of thing later on, like it's a big conflict later on, but let's just say she doesn't think that she's good enough. Yeah. Really?
She's like worthy of
being like loved. Yeah. Really. And what he, like, the things that he does is he just wants her to know that he's there for her in a number of occasions. Like, he buys her a muffin and she and he leaves it and she thinks that he's leaving her he's left the muffin, he forgot. And I mean, something simple, so simple like that, and her friend Saoirse is like, dude, he got it for you.
Bought you that muffin.
And she's like, no. She's like, he bought you a muffin. Like, he cares about, like, I mean, it's so silly that's a muffin, but it's so, like, it's another block that, that gets pulled down for Dani. Because it actually is really interesting that this is, like, a big plot point in, like, a couple pages later is, like, this muffin. Yeah. But, like, just, so she comes up to him after the whole, like, the whole incident with because it goes viral and the whole video. Yep. And she comes up to him while he's eating lunch outside, avoiding her. Yeah. I mean, because he just doesn't think that he's good enough for her and that he will, like, that she'll want to be in a relationship with him. And so he's embarrassed.
And he also knows he's asking a lot of her.
Yeah.
To, like, fake a relationship with him.
Yeah. And she comes up to him and she doesn't have a coat on, it's raining. And he's already, like, he takes his jacket off and he puts it on her. Yep. And he's like, you need to, like, someone needs to talk to you about your clothing. Like, just the fact, he's like, not that I don't like your clothing. He's like, you just need to wear a jacket. Like, you need to take care of yourself.
Like, just literally not taking care of yourself. Yeah. You're not wearing a fucking coat.
Like, she has been, and like, oh my God, there's things I don't want to say because I don't want to give away because they spoil. And when you learn the things that he's been doing, like, how invested he actually is in her way before the fake dating starts. You're like, it hurt. It like I think I texted you and said, my cockles hurt so bad right now. My heart cockles are
They're
so warm.
on fire.
I just, and it's really funny. Like she's also a witch. Whatever. And
we'll get into it later.
Yeah, he finds that out, and he's like, and she's like, and she said, there's times where Dani is very much like, I want to be like, bring it down. He doesn't mean it like that, like, because he's kind of surprised, like, literally, seriously though, if someone come to you and was like, I'm a witch, my eyes would probably get bigger and be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I would be like, I mean, it's not one of those. It's not something that comes up in conversation where you're like, oh, and so I am also a lawyer. Like, it's not how that works. Yeah. Like, so.
I also like romance novels. I also enjoy running. You know? I knit too.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a Dracula. Yeah. So. So like, and she gets a defensive right away. He's like, no, I'm not. He's like, it's just cool. Like, I mean, and that's just him. Like he's so, yes, it's Zafir, but it's also like his, it's just, let me say a couple quotes because he also is fucking sexy as fuck too.
Yes, he is.
I have to read this one because I highlighted it twice. Once when he said it, and another when she said it, and from her perspective, and he's decided to like say fuck it and just go for it, even though he knows he's gonna get hurt. And she's trying to seduce him big time, and he's like, I don't know if can I do this one night stand, or can I do this fuck it and forget it things, like
the friends with benefits thing, and then we stop. Right,
and I'm gonna get hurt. And so is this at the point where he's kind of like, fuck it, because they've had to do so much like touchy-feely stuff in front of out in public for cameras,
like public displays of affection for cameras, right? Because people are following them around and taking pictures of them.
I mean, the hashtag is trending, and he wants it to trend because it keeps getting him more and more
donations and
donations, and and so they're in the library, and I wonder if I should read this one first. Okay, let me do this one. All right.
Give me page numbers. Do you have page numbers so I don't read the same ones?
Page 93 first. I'll do page 93 first. Where he said, this is when they're kissing for the first time. He angled his head, increased the pressure, and parted her stunned lips easily, his tongue a dart that sampled her in little teasing sips. The way he touched her, the way his big body curved around her. All that said possession. But the way he kissed her, slow and gentle, tiny gifts of pleasure rippling the surface of her still lake. The way he kissed her said care. And then later on, they're in the library, and he does this very possessive move where I was like, I was immediately like, whoa, I got feelings someplace.
I got feelings in a place.
Yep. And he's like right on her neck almost, and he says, tell me what you want from me, Danika. Explain it to me. Slow. And I was like, that is the fucking sexiest thing I've heard in a long time.
Especially like whispered directly into her ear. Like,
oh,
because he's very close to her when he says it. He's very close,
yeah. Like he's on her neck almost, and I just melted. Yeah, but like, so the thing with me and what I was saying with like in romance novels in general right now, I see this awesome trend of insta love, or like very quickly building love at first from the hero. Like the heroine isn't even like, heroine's like interested but not like, it's the hero that has to like win the heroine. I'm like, that's the way it fucking should be, man.
Yeah, you and I have talked about like hero falls first, you and I are in. Like we are into it. There's another quote on page 91. I don't know where they are. They're being like filmed at this point, or people taking pictures of them.
Lunch, they're up back.
Okay. Maybe he says, I don't know if they just Yeah, they had, like, I think just kissed for the first time. Mm-hmm. And he says, she bit her lip again and shifted, every lush curve pressing tight against him. And in that moment, Zaf knew the only thing that could stop him was her. Goodbye, self-control. We barely knew ye.
His inner monologue sometimes, or his inner thoughts, are pretty great.
I enjoyed all of the. I mean, I thought they were both pretty funny.
So the last 3 books I've had to review, I will say it has been I'm thinking even back to S.L. Prater's book. Mm-hmm. It's the man is either already in love with the heroine, or learns to, either there's something that has kept him from this person for a while, whether it be enemies to lovers or something, and they there's that one bit where they hit, where I love it, where the quote is like, the ground underneath me kind of swayed, and I just was totally stunned. Those are the things where it's like, because women get it, and what I also am enjoying is the dual perspective, because a lot of these books that we've been reading, it is the man is falling first, and the reason we get to see that it's so enjoyable is because we get to see it and hear it in his voice, and it's well drawn out. And I think honestly Zafir is so well drawn out. But there's I want to read this quote. It's not from this book, but it does, I think, encapsulate what we as women want from, like, in our in general, to be chased, or to, like, what we expect of men. I should probably
you want to feel wooed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I just finished this book, and I sent this over to Veronica when I read it, because I was like, yes. There was one.
I probably just sent you back, like, a lot of emojis of people, like, with their hands in the air, like, praising people.
You sent me one of, I think it was somebody jumping on somebody from Friends, possibly.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Friends gifts are my go-to.
Yeah. So Celeste scooped up, and this is from The Good Girl's Guide to Rakes. Celeste scooped up and discarded her discarded stocking in one garter before returning to where Kieran could continue to lounge. Like, she had just done, like, a burlesque almost in public.
Oh my!
With him. I want my garter back, she said brazenly, holding out her hand. I claim it as my prize, he patted his chest. What have you done to merit such a prize, she challenged. The fact that I didn't haul you off the stage to ravish you in some darkened corner deserves some recognition. This is the quote. Men think that they're champions if they don't behave like beasts. Hurrah! You've done the absolute minimum.
Pick the bar up off the floor.
Yep. And there is the other quote that I sent you. It was from as Elizabeth Everett. Same situation where you got this guy who falls in love first, and oh shoot, now I can't find it. Shit, it was about how we pretty much. Give me 1 second, and because it does kind of pertain. Okay, here it is. No, a woman's purity is no, Grace. Gray's voice rang out as he confronted his godfather. We do not have the right to discount a woman's worth, her intelligence, her bravery, her heart, simply because of the state of her hymen.
Yep. Also, your hymen can break doing many things that do not involve sex. So
tampons. It's
literally a social construct. So
riding a horse.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my yes, it's Zafir, but it's also Zafir, his love and just the state of heroes in romances right now.
Okay, so mine piggybacks off of that one, which is also Zafir. However, it's a specific thing about Zafir, and it is that he is an emotionally intelligent man who teaches boys how to deal with their emotions and not, like, bottle them up until it turns into something like rage or just, like, self-destructive behaviors. He reads romance novels. And I texted you at one point and I said, if he wanted to, he would. Because to me, Zaf is like, I know he's fictional, but he is such a real character. Like, he was so relatable that in my mind, I kept thinking to myself, I just kept going back to it like, so what you're telling me is that if he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to, he would put in more effort. If he wanted to, he would read a romance novel to understand what the fuck you're talking about. If he wanted to be more in touch with his feelings, he would. If he wanted to do any of those things, if he wanted to pick the bar up off the floor, he fucking would.
And he does.
And he does, because Zaf just, like, seriously, just, like, he, piggybacking on what you were saying about, like, seeing her, there's a moment where, like, right before the panel, he comes into her apartment and he sees specific things that are different.
Yep.
And he says to her, this is different. This is different. Like, your laptop is open like a tent on the table. Your hair is brown.
Yeah.
What, like, when I saw you yesterday, you were fine. What is going on? Yeah. And he knows based on those two things. Like, he also knows that she's not going to eat properly, and so he brings her a protein bar every morning.
Yep.
And she brings him coffee.
When she's having her period.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. That was hysterical. He texts her because he...
Oh, God, that's right.
He misses her and, like, wants to see her.
Because they start, like, it's pretty, like, obvious. They start... It's not fake dating. I mean, from Jump Street. Like, it's...
Yeah, no, they clearly
texting.
both still care about it.
She's texting him first.
Yeah, they both clearly care about each other. And they say that they're friends and stuff, but, like, they both clearly care about each other, and they're both fighting those feelings. Because she's like, I'm not capable of doing this. And he is taking her at her word, which is her saying, I don't want commitment.
Yeah.
Which I also really appreciated about him.
I respect it, yeah.
Because he was like, okay, I respect that that's where she is. And if she doesn't want a relationship, then I'm not going to push her into one. I'm not going to think I can change her. I think deep down, of course, he wants her to think differently, but he respects the fact that she just doesn't. Anyway, I have like a billion quotes written down. But specifically, so we were talking about like how he knows her and he knows things about her. He like notices her. He pays attention to her. This book is funny, you guys. It's
really funny.
Really funny. I don't know what's going on here, but he also knows, he's fully aware. One of her issues is that previous relationships, her exes have criticized her for the amount that she works.
Yeah.
Specifically, like, you know, at academia. And they're not into it. And she felt like that was a part of her that she had to try and suppress because of them. Well, Zaf doesn't feel that way. And Zaf's just like, yeah, you know, this is what you do and you love it and that's great. And he's supportive of it. There's this line on page 163. It says, because he knew her well enough to realize she'd rather be holed up here like Gollum, stroking books and murmuring, my precious.
Yes.
And I forget, like, I think one time she falls asleep in the library when she's supposed to be meeting him. She's literally just so tired she falls asleep in the library.
And yes, and when he comes to her, do you have the quote where what she says? She's like, aren't you mad?
Yeah, like she thinks that he's mad at her, and I don't have it with me. Or I don't know like where I am in relation to that in the book right now. But he's like, no, I just assumed you got like caught up and you were hungry, and so I just brought lunch to you. Because they were meeting for lunch every day because of like the fake relationship thing.
There's the part too where
I don't remember where exactly that is.
When she's stuck in the elevator and he opens the door.
Yeah.
And this is what made me fall in love with Zaf, right? It was because she had an instant to register the sight of him, tall and broad and heavily built, his usual resting bitch face veering into furious territory, his warm brown eyes gentle enough to negate the effect. But she realizes like a couple other times where he's like, Before she could comment on that strange, oppressive behavior, he reached into the lift, dragged her out by the front of her dress, and plastered her against his massive chest. An almost silent alham.
It's a word.
It's a prayer. It's a
that
like a
white people have a hard time saying, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rushed out of him on a sigh. Danny was thinking rather ungratefully that he better not have creased her bodice. But the thing is, like, and then the next line is, why the fuck were you in the lift, he demanded. His words hard, the rest of him not. Like, he was, like, you could tell he was visibly scared. He was scared for her.
He was scared for her. Because he couldn't find her.
Right. Yeah. And he kept asking, where's, Danika Brown, pink hair. I'm sorry, I derailed.
No, it's fine.
Because that hit me. That one was like, because he was furious and she was getting scared of his face because he wasn't mad at her. He was mad at the situation.
Right. He was scared.
He was scared. Yeah,
and then, so sexy. One thing that you and I had touched on, she's on her period and he texts her and is like, what are you doing later tonight? And she texts back like way later in the day and says, I'm drowning in my own blood. And he is like, I'm sorry, what? And
he's
then
like, I'm gonna call.
Yeah, and so he calls her because she's not responding. And she's totally calm. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, you just texted me that you were drowning in your own blood. And then he realizes, like, oh, like, it's period stuff. Got it. Totally understand. And so then he comes over anyway and, like, brings her Chinese food. Mm-hmm. And she's like, what the fuck is happening here?
We're not having sex, right?
Right. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm just here to, like, bring you food, make you feel better.
I know you haven't eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, what is happening here?
It threw her off her game, definitely.
It definitely did. Okay, so here's some more evidence, shall we say.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. This is like the third week of their arrangement. So they agree after the fake relationship thing starts that they will also be friends with benefits until, and I don't remember like when this agreement was set up, where they would say like it would only be a month or through your seminar or whatever. But at some point that got set up.
They figured it was the length of time it would be like for it to die out. They figured a month. They said at the beginning, like when they started, they made the plan or shook on it or whatever. They said a month. Okay. Yeah.
So it's like by the time they start doing this and then they agree to do the friends with benefits thing, they basically have 3 weeks to sleep together.
Right.
So they're in like the third week of their arrangement. Every morning he woke up and told himself, one of the rules is that he's not allowed to sleep over. They're not allowed to sleep in the same bed together. They bang in the evenings and then she kicks him out. Every morning he woke up and told himself, this is minor. This will pass. At least you're not in love with her. And every night he ran his hands over Danika's skin, kissed the moans from her mouth, lost himself inside her, and pretended the squeeze of his heart was some kind of deadly arrhythmia or a hallucination or something he'd eaten. He's like so in love with her that he cannot admit it. And he's just like, I clearly am dying. I clearly have like some sort of disease that is going to kill me. And that's fine. That's preferable over being in love with Danika because she is not in love with me. His inner monologue cracks me up. Page 270. Eventually she tipped her head back to look at him. Thanks, she murmured. Anytime. And his internal monologue says, seriously, anytime, all the time, forever. Just say the word. Holy shit, please say the word before I die.
And I love him. Even when she says something pretty shitty later on, he takes it as this is still his fault. It's all his fault. He shouldn't have done what he did, or he shouldn't have pushed. And But he has this analogy that he uses all the time to describe this, and it hit me for some reason. I really liked it. It was, and those feelings couldn't be described as friendship. Friendship was there, sure, but so was something else, something dangerous, a blood-red poppy of affection trying to bloom in his chest. Mm-hmm. And he mentions that again later too. As poppy. More of these poppy blooms are have bloomed. It's almost a field. At one point, he says it's almost like a wild flower field of poppies,
which is a thing in England. I mean,
so they make opium, not England, just
in general. Poppies,
just in general. So that's weird
poppy
weird
seeds,
fact.
right?
Right. Well, that's also like so in The Wizard of Oz when they fall asleep in the field of poppies.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Opium.
Also,
they're addicted to opium.
Side note, I really want a bagel now. Unrelated, but poppies made me think of it.
Yep. Everything bagel.
Yeah. So this is when he is finally realizing that he's admitting to himself that he's in love with her. Her gaze wandered across the crowd and found his, as if she'd been searching for him, and if she wanted him to be a part of this moment. And Zaf knew. He knew once and for all that he loved her. So hard and so hopelessly that he couldn't deny it, couldn't fight it, couldn't hide from it another fucking second. He loved her intelligence and her ambition, her crystals and her sticky notes, her charming smiles and her dreamy ones. He loved the way she thought in straight lines and facts, but believed in magic to honor someone she'd lost. He loved her chameleon curls and her passionate speeches and her awkward unfamiliarity with her own emotions. He just loved her. Zaf remembered the man he'd been 3 weeks ago, the man who decided to never fall in love with Danika Brown, and realized he'd discovered the meaning of hubris. Oh, fucking well. Worth it.
Yeah. Oh, God. I was just like... That whole scene with the panel and then her meeting... spoiler, she meets Inez Holly.
She meets Inez Holly, right.
Is pretty amazing because that's sort of the fall. It's the Berlin Wall of this of Danika.
Agreed.
Danika's like
it's a turning point for Danika.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you have more quotes?
No, because my next one pertained to my bottom bun. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the meats. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna be such an asshole for saying this.
Cool.
But I'm gonna.
Cool.
Danika is kind of a little bit of my meat. A little bit.
I get it.
She's not my favorite heroine.
Sure. Mine either. Yeah.
But and I think it's not Danika herself. It's Danika's sometimes her personality in this book is a little. And the defensiveness that she has with a lot of things, like in reference, it's just a reference, is and on B3 we watched the 2019 Black Christmas. And it made me so furious because it was just men hating to men hate. You know, it was like,
oh, just like rude. That's what that face meant. I'm sorry, I just made a face.
I didn't know if there was something was happening on that side.
No, I turned around to make sure the dog was still asleep, and then you were talking about Black Christmas, and I was like, ugh, rude. We hate on men all the time, but not for the purpose of hating on them, because they deserve it. Sorry.
It was like this script was written to be like, fuck all men, and I'm like, okay.
And I don't like that. That annoys me.
I don't either. And
there are enough reasons to just be irritated with them. We don't need to make them up.
Right. And some of the things that she says to him, I'm like, calm your tits, okay? Really, just calm down. He didn't mean it that way. It's not like, and she's a hard heroine to get to like. Like, I warmed to her by the end. Yeah. I did.
And it's her own insecurities. I mean, it's all like her past relationship baggage and bullshit. Right.
And because she makes something about like, about how he couldn't be around because of his intense masculinity, and I'm like, oh, for fuck, like, I just like, okay, got it, cool. And the other thing that I wasn't super sold on her grand gesture, because she has the grand gesture, FYI, guys. And it should have been bigger. I didn't understand. It didn't really get it, but it was fine. I'm glad she did it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I think the gift that she gives him later is actually a better grand gesture. If it was weird, because like I was like, whoop-de shit, that's what she did.
Right.
I mean, okay, cool. Like, I don't. It didn't make sense. But so that's my meat.
I didn't get part of it for sure. There was part that I was like, why did you even bother with that?
That's exactly it. I was like, okay. But I mean, again, glad she did it because they got back together.
Right.
Because that's how it works. That's how grand gestures usually work.
Yes, that's how that usually works.
Again, not spoiling. That's just usually how it works.
Yeah, this is a romance novel, you guys.
Yeah. So I did warm to her, but again, not my favorite.
Fair enough. Totally fair.
I like her other sisters. I'm excited about the sisters.
Yeah. More so Chloe than Eve, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, I didn't stop my clock, sort of intentionally. You know why. Okay, so my meat is the witch stuff. And I'm only saying that because for me, there was like a cognitive dissonance between this PhD student who's like data-driven and fact-driven to being into witchery and crystals. And I know people.
And probably
I know
essential oils, too.
I'm just going to assume. But like, I literally know two people who are into like witchery, and that's cool. Like, and I have no, like, I'm not judging them, and that's your thing, and that's cool, and I have no problems with it. And they're intelligent human beings. But neither of them are like PhD candidates at major universities studying
pretty serious shit.
I don't know. I found it difficult to reconcile both sides of that personality for her.
Because as soon as she goes to defend her, like, her paper, it's going to be like, so did the crystal tell you that? Or
right. Like, you're wishing for a fuck buddy via your witchery, and you're wearing like a garnet crystal around your neck. And fine, like, if you're into that, if that's what gives you courage, go for it. I'm not fucking judging you. I have a massive anxiety disorder. I have literally no judgment for you. I just found it weird that a person who
off-putting.
Well, just I didn't see the two of those aspects together.
Yeah, to made sense to be right.
Because someone who is about data and logic, I don't know, but also her PhD is about like race and things like that. So maybe it's like it's not like she's getting a PhD in I don't know, like statistical analysis. It's like it's more of a theoretical, observational based thesis. Do you know what I mean?
So my friend just sent me an article, a BuzzFeed news article, and it was the former head of a large MLM essential oils company who's now getting sued. Said that MLM or that essential oils is backed by the devil. So I think that right there probably definitely supports your thesis.
Okay.
Like, I mean, anybody who's believing that there's a literal devil probably not going to be a PhD candidate.
No, I'm going to assume not.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, like at the same time, like you're gonna go slather yourself in lavender because it calms you down.
Fine. I don't care.
Fucking fine. You want to grab onto a crystal because it calms you. Like I probably, if I had a crystal pendant, I'd probably play. I would be a fidget object for me.
Sure. Yeah. I've looked into like those fidget rings that like you wear and like, yeah, totally fine. I have calm strips on my laptop in front of me.
Yeah. But it's just, I'm probably not going to believe in actual white magic and also be writing about
a thesis about race and gender and
I
don't know. Like I said, it was just a cognitive like dissonance point for me. Mm-hmm. And I mean, trust that I had to like nitpick to find that. I loved this book. I loved it. Like at the end when I finished it, my first thought was like, no notes, because I loved this book. I really, really, really loved this book. And I would recommend it to anyone and everyone. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When I really like dove down to think about something that I didn't enjoy about the book, that was it. And that was the part that at the very beginning, because the entire book begins with her and Sorsha like wishing to whatever it is to the goddess or whatever.
Well, even Sorsha was like, "That's not how you." Like,
that's not how this works,
right? Because because she's like, it's supposed to like, and Sorsha actually gets the title. She says the title in here, and I love that because she says it's called a hint. You're supposed to take a hint,
right?
It's not like you're not making decisions because of this. Right. And no, I mean, I guess it would be different if like she like part of her study was on slavery and also like the the history of like voodooism or something like that.
Sure.
And like that's a different story. And even if it just happened as you're going through, you're like, this is cool, and I happen to believe this. Fine.
Yeah,
awesome.
and doesn't it come from like her grandmother or something that she?
I think so.
Yeah, like she inherited the statue from her grandmother, and then it's part of like Oshun. Yeah, it's part of like an honor her grandmother thing, which again, totally cool. It just surprised me. That's all. It didn't. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to get into the book because of that. She's a PhD student who was like wishing for things from. I don't know. It didn't. That part bothered me.
It did meld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again,
all right.
It was excellent.
It was.
Yeah.
Let's go to the bottom bun.
Yes, please talk to me about your bottom bun.
So this is my first novel that I've read with a character who has been Muslim. I'm trying to think back, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever read a book with a Muslim person.
Huh.
And so I very much enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning a little bit more about. I mean, you don't get too much. Like, it's not like a big delve into the culture like Love and Latkes, but
sure,
like into Jewish faith. But you do get to see like what the home family life is like for especially Muslims in Britain.
Yep.
And that was really I liked that a lot. I liked that aspect a lot. And of course, like I was looking up all the foods and like the things that they would like, especially
God,
Fatima
I was so hungry
him.
reading this book.
But there was like a certain do you remember the pudding that his mom gave him that she said when he was little?
Started with a P, didn't it?
Yeah, like I can't but then Fatima calls him Cha-Cha.
Yeah.
And I didn't look up what Cha-Cha meant, but like, of course I didn't, because, I just finished this afternoon. But like, it was fascinating. And it was, I don't know. Then when I looked it up, that's not what came up. It was dancing the Cha-Cha in Muslim culture.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm like, that's not right. But like, and the dynamic between his mom and his sister-in-law,
right,
and Fatima,
who is not his sister. I mean, technically not his sister-in-law anymore.
Right. I'm glad that you did finally figure out, because I'm like, what horrible tragic event happened.
It is really sad. And actually, I will say, since you're bringing this...
But they don't really go into it. That's really what I really enjoyed.
But I wanted to... I did like that they didn't spend like a ton of time delving into that. Hibbert brings it up enough for you to understand that was extremely traumatic. When you lose someone like that, when it's it's totally sudden...
Yeah.
It's so bizarre to like wrap your mind around it. They were literally there 1 minute and they were gone the next. Everything was totally fine 1 minute. It was not okay the next. And I know this.
He finds out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, and the way he finds out is so fucking terrible. And of course adds to the trauma and shit of that. I know this because so in my high school, it was an all girls high school. There was a Muslim girl in my class, and her sister was 2 years behind us. Mm-hmm. Right after she went to Georgetown, she was fucking brilliant. She was like, I can't remember. I think she was the valedictorian of our class or the salutatorian. Like she was one of the top, whatever of those
scholars.
Yeah, she was very brilliant, very bright. Went to Georgetown, and the month after college graduation, like she had, I think, gone on a trip to visit friends and then came home, and her dad was picking her up from the airport, and it was like a bad storm, like a sudden thunderstorm, and the two of them died like this, like both of them in a car accident. And so the word spread. My class was very small, very small. And the town the city we went to high school in, also very small, like really, it's not like a tiny town, but people know people. Yeah. And so the word spread pretty quickly. I got a call when I was at work from a friend of mine who I'm still friends with, she was like, hey, are you sitting down? Because she was just the nicest person, like just the nicest fucking person. And so she and her dad died both at the same time. And how this works in Muslim culture, from what I understand, I am not a Muslim person. I could be incorrect about some of these cultural details. However, from what I understand, they have to bury their dead within like a certain number of hours. So we found out, and we went to the services within 24 hours. And so all of us were in fucking shock. Like just, and I remember showing up there, and also men and women are separated in the hall. And so like there was a big wall that they had like basically set up so that men were on one side and women were on the other. And I remember seeing who was left was her sister and her mom. So like they were both on that side with us, and her sister was just like bent over their holy book. What is it, the Bhagavad Gita? Am I thinking, or is that?
No, it's the Quran.
The Quran, thank you. That's Hindu. Is it Bhagavad Gita? Okay. She was like bent over the Quran, and I don't remember what her mom was doing, but I remember seeing like some of my teachers, and because we were 22.
Yeah.
And so when I was reading that from Zaf, I kept thinking like back to that service and being like the shock that you would go through to experience that loss and then have to bury them like immediately. I mean, you have no time to process what the fuck has happened, and you lost your dad and your brother at the same fucking time. So now you're dealing with, and I like when I think back to it, I think about her sister bent over the Quran and the wailing, like just the wailing of the people just being so depressed and sad, and just the shock of dealing with that. I totally understood why Zaf went down the path that he did, and why he doesn't like to revisit it.
Yeah, well,
and why he's still so close to his sister-in-law, who's technically not his sister-in-law anymore.
But she lives with his mom.
She lives with his mom. I mean, they're still very close, like as a family, which I loved. I loved that they were still. They still like incorporated her into their family, even though they very easily could have been like, we're not family anymore, you know, like. Right.
Well, in most like Western families, it probably would be more like that. Like,
it's possible.
You know, I mean, so the dish that I was looking up was called Phirni. Phirni.
Oh, yes.
And it's a slow cooked, classic slow cooked Indian sweet pudding. Made with basmati rice, milk, nuts, sugar, and scented with cardamom powder or saffron or rose water.
I'm hungry.
Yeah. I mean, just that there was like they talked about morning prayer and how like and Zaf he's like a lapsed Muslim. He does say that he doesn't go to service. Right. But like what he loved about his brother, what his brother wouldn't like, his brother would be up for morning prayer and he would sleep in and he would oversleep because he wasn't doing it. But he would never. But I think his name was Zayn, right? Zayn, yeah. Zayn would never make him feel less than because he wasn't practicing. Right. And I was like, and he mentions a couple times, my brother was a good person. He just was good. Yeah. Like, he was a good guy. Like, everyone loved him. Like, he just would do. But you know, like, and I want part of me is like, but Zaf, you're just the same way. You're a good dude. Like, you're just a. Yeah. So learning a little bit more about. I mean, it would like to know more. But it was definitely like I guess it occurred to me while reading. I was like, I've never read a book with a Muslim like lead character, and learning a little bit more about their family. So it was nice. That was nice.
I like that. That. Side note: I would love to get a book of his sister-in-law and Jamal. Yeah.
I think it's pretty done deal, so I don't know if
I know, but like could there be a book of the two of them like figuring that out, you know? Because it's hinted at and he's like there's clearly something going on there.
Well, and like
and they just won't tell me about it, and then eventually like you find out. But it would be you don't see like how that happens.
Yeah. You just know that he answers her phone at one point. Yeah. I was like, they were doing it, guys.
Clearly.
We fell asleep. Nope. Well, you did after.
Mm-hmm.
But like she and his mom, I think they both said they were both together in the dress store, weren't they? Like they both.
They worked together in the dress store. Like it's his mom's store, but like they both. I think. Yeah.
And she's the Instagrammer. Yeah. So.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kieran.
Okay. Kieran. Right. That's her name. Kiren, I think, or Kir. Oh, A-N. Got it.
It threw me because I just finished the book, Kieran. His name was Kieran. It was
like Irish name.
It's generally normally westernized is a male's name.
Sure, yeah, and spelled it like it's usually like Ieran or something like that, right?
Yeah. Anyhow. Anywho, any hoozlebees.
Hoozlebees.
That's a Ween exclusive right there for you.
I like it. I like the crossover. Does that conclude your bottom bun?
Does.
Okay.
Hit me with your bottom bun.
Happily. So mine is the discussion that Zaf brings to the table between anxiety and reading romance novels, because it hit really close to home for me. You don't hear, obviously, if you are listening to this podcast, clearly you know that not a lot of men read romance novels, and they're oftentimes touted as like girl porn or like something that is a lesser form of literature, which is infuriating because it makes up a significant majority of the publishing industry. The entire fucking publishing industry is carried by the romance novel section of it.
Right. So, and generally very well written and very well written.
Fuck all of you if you are shitting on romance novels.
Of dicks.
Yep. Eat the biggest bag of dicks. We will send it to you courtesy of the Chicklet Book Club podcast.
Mr. McConnell.
So I loved that Zaf talks about his anxiety. He has anti-anxiety meds that he does not necessarily take all the time, it seemed like.
He doesn't like to take it because he has to get up to work in the morning.
Yeah, like
it's hard. He gets sluggish, and it's
and that is a side effect of you. I mean, I'm sure you know that, like, of anxiety meds about like they can cause drowsiness, which is one of the reasons that they encourage people to take them at night. But everybody reacts to medications in different ways, and so like maybe it's hard for you to get up in the morning. He works security; he has to get up early in the morning. But he does like keep them with him sometimes when he thinks that he's going to be in a stressful situation.
Now, I do the same thing.
Yeah,
I carry a bag with me, a bag of pills.
A baggie of pills.
Yep, a dime bag. I carry a dime bag.
A dime bag of anti-anxiety meds. I'm just carrying my Zoloft around.
But I know if I'm going to be with somebody who makes me anxious, or I'm going to be in a situation, I can definitely tell you that I definitely took one before I started drinking, obviously, at the haunted house. But I didn't know like how that was going to affect me.
I get that.
So
I mean, my kid's going to like start school, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should just like double my dose, like.
What? Yeah.
You know, like, you just know certain things are... you just know certain things are going to be really triggering for you. Yeah. So anyway, that's a discussion that he has regarding, like, why he likes romance novels. So at one point, they're chatting. And she picks up, like, they're at his place, and she, like, picks up the novel off of his nightstand or whatever. And so they're talking about whatever it is. And she says, "What's it about?" He lay back and gave her a lazy smile. "If you want to know, I'll buy you a copy. No spoilers. Except for the happy ending," she says. He laughed. "That's not a spoiler. That's a safety net." Yeah. And I told you before, like, that's how I look at romance novels. Like, that's what makes them so easy for me to read, is that I know in the end it's going to be okay. So even if I'm reading all of this angst in the middle, eventually it's going to be okay because it's a fucking romance novel. So that like assuages my anxiety about, like, I'm not worried about the book I'm going to read, which I think is why I've resisted Colleen Hoover for as long as I have. I'm just like, I don't know. Is it going to be okay at the end? I'm just not sure. You know, like it just makes me nervous, and I have enough of that shit in my life that when I'm trying, I use reading as a way to like disassociate or relax or calm down. And reading like a high anxiety novel that I don't know is going to end in a happy way is not going to accomplish those things for me.
Yeah, we were actually, if you remember, somebody approached us about reviewing one of their books, and we turned them down because I was like, because it was not like, and and bravo to the author because they were very upfront that it was not a happily ever after.
Yeah, and we were just like, dude, I mean, first of all, this podcast focuses on romance novels. So, like, it didn't fit with our podcast. But also, you and I were like, dude. Novel, though.
What? It was the Mafia one. It was a romance novel.
But didn't you say there wasn't a happy ending at the end?
Well, yeah, but it was a romance novel, though.
But is it? Because there's no happy ending.
Well, Romeo and Juliet is a romance.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know that I agree with that. By the definition of a romance novel, there's a happy ending or a happily for now. They both die at the end of Romeo and Juliet. I wouldn't say that's a romance novel. I would say it's a drama.
Well, but the thing is, though, okay, well then, I'm trying to think of something. Well, trying to think of a book that maybe just one of the people dies and it's still, like, a romance novel.
They don't end up together. I disagree. If there is one criteria, well, two criteria if you're a romance novel, which is there is a love story that is a major component of the plot, and there is a happily forever or a happily for now at the end. Meaning that you assume they're going to stay together. So if one of them dies, that completely destroys it. You've missed half of the criteria.
Okay, here's one. I fucking hate this book and movie, but I'm still going to bring it up. What about Gone with the Wind? They consider it a romance novel.
Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. Not seen it, not read it, because...
Wait!
Okay, goddamn it. No, fuck.
I mean, yes, it's fucking racist now when you look back on it, but, like, I mean, mostly a large number of people have seen it because it's on the top 100 movies. I still don't understand, but it is a beautiful movie. It is gorgeously done. It is full. It's very racist stereotypes, but it has been for the most part on lists of romances.
Okay. Well, as a person who creates said lists for the internet, I can tell you that there's no scientific data behind that, and we are.
What about consensus? I mean, like a consensus of people.
People are wrong. Like, that's not a romance. It's not a fucking romance. There is a romantic element. I will give you that. But it's not a fucking romance novel if they don't end up together.
I'm just playing devil's advocate because I won't fucking read anything where there's not a happily ever after.
No, exactly, because it assuages my anxiety. Like, I just can't.
No. In fact, like, seriously, I was just saying, the book I just finished was like, I had to keep telling myself, you can get through this. This angst is it's not as bad as your angst, but it was like, it was angst level for me that was like getting to the end. I was like, I don't know if I can finish.
Yes.
And, yeah. But I was like, they got to end up together, so,
right.
You know.
So then a couple pages later, they're still having this conversation about romance novels. Oh, wait. No, hang on. Not that one. Okay, so she's saying, like, what is it? Like, why do you like romance novels? I don't get it. And he says, it's all about the emotion, Dan. The whole thing, the whole story, the whole point. Just book after book about people facing their issues head on and handling it and never, ever failing, at least not for good. I felt like my world had already ended unhappily. But every book I read about someone who'd been through the worst and found happiness anyway seemed to say the opposite. Like, my story didn't need to be over if I didn't want it to. Like, if I could just be strong enough to reclaim my emotions and to work through them, maybe I'd be okay again. And that's kind of what inspired me to keep going, to make good choices, even when feeling better seemed impossible. And I love that. First of all, you are getting this conversation from a man, which is out of the ordinary, but, you know, maybe it fucking shouldn't be. Right. I loved that Zaf is, like, trying to get boys to be more in touch with their feelings so that they're not just speaking, like, just being shitheads and, like, rebelling against things for no reason and lashing out at people who might be trying to reach out to them. If we can all, and that's not only for men. Women need that too. We all need to be more emotionally intelligent and recognize, like, I always kind of go back to, like, trauma responses, you know, like when there are some times when Mr. Veronica and, like, my kid are, like, having some headbutting moments. And I think to myself, like, I can feel my stress levels rising. I can feel my anxiety rising. And then I stop and I think to myself, like, okay, you are having a trauma response. Like, that's what's going on. It has nothing to do with, like, him or her. It's that you are having a trauma response. So if I can be emotionally intelligent enough to, like, look at that, assess it properly, realize that that's what's going on, not have an emotional response, but, like, step back and be like, okay, this is how we're going to diffuse the situation. This is how we're going to, like, solve it. And we can discuss it later when we're calmer. Like, that's essentially what he's teaching them. And while I do believe it's super important that boys learn that, girls need to learn it too. I mean, we all could do better. We all could.
You know, the other thing, I think, you and I have talked about this a number of times, and I think we will see it not in our generation, but the generation that we are raising, or you are raising, is that it'll come to fruition. We're already one generation away from the 50s dad.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're already a generation away from that, and I think men have gotten... I'm using men because, and women, we just needed to get out of the kitchen. Literally.
Barefoot,
I mean,
pregnant.
we need to be allowed out of the kitchen. Yeah. So now that we're starting to come into our own. Because I think we've always been, it was there. We just needed to be allowed to be more self-sufficient with it.
Yeah. I mean, we legally needed the ability to be more self-sufficient, and now we can be.
Yeah. But I think that you're seeing so much more, like, I mean, us as a society makes fun of Chads now. I mean, that's you know, and that's because to me the Chad stereotype is still stuck on that 50s dad. It is like, you know, it's And so I think we're all starting to see what jackasses, and I feel so bad saying Chads, but that's like, I think when I say that, you know what I'm talking about. It's like Karen, you get it. Yeah. So I mean, no, I think it's definitely a step in the right direction.
There's a moment, I think he's talking to Kieran. After a while, she whispered in his ear, "Sweetie, are you crying?" No, he said, "I'm leaking masculine pain from my eyeballs."
And you know, again, this is the third book in a row that I'm talking about that the hero cries.
Yeah.
It is not ashamed. Like the one, oh God, I can't think of the name of it now. There were before this one was like, it was this one. There was Kieran. Kieran was also like he was a poet and was like a secret poet, but he was listening to a piece of music and it just hit him and he started to cry, and I'm like, how often do you see that in a book and about a man? Like they've got to be like the alpha guy,
right?
Like possessive and. Even though he does say, "You're mine" at one point, and it's fucking hot.
It's hot. It's super, super hot.
Because she says it back to him.
Yeah. It's amazing. Is what it is.
Yeah.
This book is really hot, you guys.
Yeah, so we haven't gotten to that part yet.
We haven't gotten to that point. That, I think, concludes my discussion about A Bottom Fun.
Would you recommend this book?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
would you? Yes, okay. Would this book embarrass our moms?
The sex
for sure would. I feel
and
like
her talking about dicks all the time. Yeah, probably would.
Yeah, this would probably embarrass her.
And
moms.
her vagina. Yeah.
But again, to me, that's like I'm sad for our mom's generation that they did not get this sort of sexual liberation that our generation has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, fair enough. Shall we take a brief respite, come back and talk about ratings, stunt casting, and what we're reading?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
Okay, we'll be back in 2 and 2.
And we're back.
We're back, bitches.
There it is.
Did you miss it? You missed it?
I did.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
All right. Do you want to do some ratings and then do stunt casting? Let's do that.
Yes.
What about that?
Yes.
Does that feel good? Does that feel good?
Does that feel good? Steph.
Okay.
Oh my God. If you like it, scream.
There's two ways we rate these books on this here podcast. We do it by love, by hearts, like how romantical was it?
Oh, how romantical. We have master's degrees.
We do, yep. And then then by eggplants, by like how sexy was it? Was there lots of sex? How it's 1 to like, 1 usually has nothing. I mean, like maybe kissing. Let's just say it's a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, sure.
Or 5 is straight out erotica.
Yep.
All right, let's do some hearts first.
Okay.
How about some hearts for me, girl?
Okay, so I said 4.5 because, like, fucking Zaf is so romantic. And I know that, like, her grand gesture is not, it's not everything that you and I would have maybe wanted, but, like, she does do it in the best way that she feels like she can.
Yeah.
She does what she feels. And then, like, after, like, in the epilogue.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
We might have to change some Patreon levels. Names.
Oh, okay.
Or no, we'll just change our shirt.
There you go. Yeah, we can change our shirt. What about you? What about hearts?
You know what? I'm going to co-sign on that one.
Okay,
I'm going to say
fair.
4.
Right.
I mean, co-sign it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Eggplants?
Here we are the first with some eggplants! This book was fucking, at some point, I mean, I'm going to say 5, just because, it was explicit. I mean, it was explicit. Like, the sex was the main sex scene.
Hot.
I'm sorry, well, how about fucking, when they hit the table, when he actually, like, at one point, changes position and hits, because it's hot, dudes. It's hot. It's fucking hot. 5. I'm going to go 5. I don't fucking care.
All right, I said 4, but only because, like, I don't know, there were, like, 2 sex scenes, right? Like, 2 major sex scenes.
Well, I guess...
But they were explicit. I mean, the one with the table, like, I don't really want to say, like, what happens, but, like, they're on a fucking table.
I mean, I do feel like oh my God, I want to talk about that, like, when he switches positions, because it's the fucking hottest... Oh my God. Do you remember what page it was on?
Well, it's okay. So I can tell you it's like around page 300 because they're or no, it has to be before page 296 because they're like happy and talking at page 296.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
I opened my other thing of the book because of recommendations. So
288, 289. Oh, okay. So 290 is like when things begin to go down.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah. Okay. Oh God. All right. When he couldn't get close enough, deep enough, he pushed Dani onto her back and climbed halfway across the table himself, ignored the way it groaned, and shoved into her hot, wet cunt until he couldn't see straight. So good. So fucking good. When he thrust against her, that tender place inside her, and she screamed and squeezed around his cock. Oh fuck. He wanted more of that, so he reached between their bodies and rubbed her swollen clit, tight little circles the way she liked, and kept the angle of his hips just right. Mm-hmm. So he climbs on the table so he can thrust into her deeper and okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
It's very hot, you guys.
Yeah, it's very hot. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we close. We're not closing. We're going to stunt casting.
Stunt casting.
So I was like, we're not going to close the book yet.
Okay, so you just did 2, right?
Yes, I just did 2.
Okay.
Okay. Who would you like to do first?
I think we all know I would like to do Zafir first.
Oh my God.
Fucking hell. Good God.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's do. You know what? I love my Zap so much. Let's do Dani first.
Okay, fine. Sounds good to me.
I also love my Dani because she came up. Do you want me to just go first?
Yeah, go for it.
About her?
Yeah.
So the person I picked, I can't. Some points it sounds like she's kind of heavier, or at least
she's curvy.
But then also
she's not a stick figure.
No, but then also some other times she talks about like being. She actually says at one time a little on the chubbier side. So I don't know what. So I'm going with someone who has a nice back end.
Okay.
I went with that.
Okay.
So, and come to find out, this person is British. I was very excited about it.
Okay.
Yes. Her name, and let me send this over to you via the chat.
Hello.
Okay. That, and where's my thing?
Ooh.
She has recently, I knew of her before, but she is...
Oh.
Yeah, so she was in Captain Marvel. She actually is going to be in the new Doctor Strange 2 movie, Doctor Strange in the something in the multiverse, something. Multiverse of Madness? I don't know, something like that.
I am the wrong person to ask.
Yeah, I should know this, being the Marvel girl.
She's gorgeous.
She plays Maria Rambeau in the movies.
And what is her name, darling?
Maria Rambeau?
No, what is the actress?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Lashana Lynch Short. Lashana Lynch. And the title here is Lashana Lynch
Short Curls.
Short Curls.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so, but so in the new movie, she's playing like Captain Marvel of an alternate universe. So she's been in the news recently, and that's why her hair's normally like longer, but for this she had to cut her hair, and she's just fucking gorgeous. And she's British.
Yeah, she is beautiful.
Yep. That is my Dani.
Love that. So I actually pictured Dani with darker skin, like the person that you have chosen, Lashana Lynch. However, I don't like. I didn't come across her, I guess, in my searching. I don't know why. So I chose this actress. Ideally, like I would have. I don't know. I pictured her darker than this. However, this actress is gorgeous, and under no circumstances would I turn her down for literally fucking anything.
Nope. She can get it.
She sure can. Also, here's her rocking some super short blonde hair. Oops.
Super cute.
One more I will send to you, my love. All right. So her name is Kiersey Clemens. She's lighter skinned, but typically has short hair, and that's how.
She's so pretty. Oh, I love that fucking
right?
one.
I know. So that is how Dani is described, is that she has very short hair. Like at one point she says like 2 inches is how long her hair is or something. Anyway, what is she from? I forget like the stuff that she's been in.
I have her IMDb app. Hold on 1 second. Let me get back into her. She is in Dope, or she was in Dope. She was in Lady and the Tramp.
Oh yeah, she was one of the voices.
God, no, is she the? No, that's Sassy Beats. It's just not. It's not her.
She was in The Flash, but that's in post-production right now.
Oh, it is. So she's in this movie that I have unsaved, and I have not watched it yet. It's called Hearts Beat Loud with Nick Offerman, and Nick Offerman plays her dad.
Oh, okay.
And I keep saying I need to fucking watch this. Keep watching, but she's like the lead. Oh God, she's so pretty.
Oh, she was in Angie Tribeca.
Oh, that show was interesting.
It is different. She was in a couple episodes of New Girl, which I do not recall. She was Casey. She's only in 2 episodes, so it's not like she was like a major character.
Oh, and she was in Justice League. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Iris West.
I mean, fuck if I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's fucking gorgeous.
She's very pretty.
So there's that.
Oh, so she plays. So the character that she plays Iris West, I was like, I have no fucking idea who this is. In Justice League, she plays like, would be, I believe, will at some point be the Flash's girlfriend.
Oh. Okay, so that makes sense because she's in The Flash.
The TV show?
Though, well, it says post-production, The Flash.
Oh, yeah, the one with, is it Miles Teller?
I don't know, I just clicked. Hang on. Oh, what is his name? Okay, Ben Affleck's playing Batman. Oh my god, hang on. Hold the fucking phone. Alright, so this is...
Ezra Miller.
Yes, so this is The Flash, right? But it has Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton listed as Batman.
Wait, in the Flash movie?
Yes. Are we pulling like a Spider-Man No Way Home thing? Where there are multiple Batman?
It could be. It could be multiverse. I don't know much about DC, so I don't.
Interesting. Okay. Fascinating. All right. Fair. I'll probably see it.
The plot is unknown. Cool. Awesome.
Of course it is.
Flash.
Okay. Yeah. Well, cool. Also, why does it? Okay. Whatever.
Also, Michael Keaton, best Batman. Sorry. Fight me, internet. Fight me.
I'm not going to fight you on it. Although I will say I don't mind the Christian Bale.
Oh no,
Batman.
I enjoy.
To me, it's Christian Bale and Michael Keaton. Like, I will take either of them.
Yes,
I'm okay with it.
When I look back and I because having watched Batman 1989 not too long ago, I was like, because I own them, because I'm a nerd.
Shocked.
I was like, that's the Batman like that. I mean, I was 9 when it came out, so like,
sure.
I was that right. That was a sweet spot for me. I really like Christian Bale as it, but I think like for what, and it just could also be the writing too. Like it was that Batman was the comic Batman.
Yeah, I get that.
The world's
I get that.
Greatest detective.
Sure.
Anywho,
shall we discuss Zafir?
Okay. So this gentleman is very close, and I hold him close and dear to my heart. Really not, but yes, I do kind of, because I discovered him this year, and I was actually between two gentlemen, but this gentleman's age won out because he's younger than the other one. But this gentleman I have been in love with for a good almost that's.
Actually, that's the age is what won me out over Kiersey Clemens over a different actress who had darker skin. It was because the actress with darker skin was like 22 and Kiersey Clemens is 26. So that's kind of what won me out over that.
I have many pictures of him. Yeah, I have many pictures of this gentleman.
Jesus.
And where's the last one? The last one is him with like a lighter beard. This gentleman, his name is Rahul Kohli, and he was, I've discovered him in Midnight Mass this year. And he plays the sheriff in town, the only Muslim sheriff in this.
He's real pretty.
He's extremely good looking. We follow him on Instagram, I believe.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
If we don't, we should.
We should. Yep. I'm gonna double check while you're talking.
Yep. Because he's 36. So that's good. I went with him.
Yes,
the other person
he is
was in his 40s.
almost my age. He's born the same year I was.
Yeah. He is really handsome, and he has grown in, like, he's starting to get the silver. So, but he was on iZombie, I believe it was. That he was like the lead on there. But I thought he was American. Come to find out, fucking British. I was so excited. But he's real good looking, guys.
He really is.
I want all of the sex with him. Literally, he could do whatever he wants with me. But I thought for some reason in my brain, I thought he was Muslim, but he is not. He's actually, his parents are Hindu. But I thought that would be nice, like, icing on the cake if he was too, because it'd be kind of like perfect. I mean, he's perfect anyhow. It's just fine.
He's pretty, like, and also ridiculously handsome. Yeah. I kind of don't really know what to say about him because I'm a little struck stupid by how cute he is.
Yeah. Also knowing, like, that's why I said when I picked him, and then I got to the sex scene, I was like, this makes it even better. And like,
we are now following him on Instagram.
Okay. And he also has really he picks some, like, he made some good choices with his career. So, but yeah, I will. The one where he's smoking the cigarette. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's attractive.
Mm-hmm.
He's very
also,
attractive.
Shout out to Midnight Mass. It's really good. If you guys haven't watched it.
Wow. Okay. Good Lord.
Yep. The good Lord smiled upon him.
And the good Lord blessed him.
Mm-hmm. Good
okay.
luck.
Sweet Jesus. All right. Okay, closing the 400 tabs you sent me and finding my own.
It was 4.
It was 4. I added approximately 396 to that number.
I mean, normally when I work, I have about 700 open.
I always have that many open. I currently have that many open. Okay. So my Zaf. What that noise was. Doesn't matter. Let's look at this gentleman instead. That's more important at this juncture. So this gentleman is from Pakistan. He's a Pakistani actor, but he attended school in Calgary. So even if he didn't know a lick of English,
Jesus.
right?
God,
Even if he didn't know a lick of English, I would still have chosen him because I don't fucking care. His name is Ahad Raza Mir. I've never seen nor heard of this man. He was born in
that last one.
Yep,
Fuck
he was
me.
born in 1993 in Pakistan.
Shut the front door. 1993. Go fuck yourself.
I know.
1993. Get fucked.
No.
Fucking child.
I know. At least he was born in the last century. Okay,
No,
like
I tease,
Jesus
but still
Christ.
go fuck yourself. 1993.
Dude, I feel you. I'm totally with you. Here is something that I did not, because I had never heard of him. So I was reading, like, he apparently is married to someone, who knows. But I was reading more about him. He's not just like an actor in a TV show or some shit. He's like acted in Shakespeare. He was in Romeo and Juliet. He was Tybalt in Romeo and Juliet. He was also Lennox in Macbeth. And he was Hamlet in Hamlet. So
that second one with the curls, I can't fucking handle it.
Dude.
I mean, like, if I have to draw a guy, like, my perfect, I'm coming to the conclusion I have a type.
That's fine.
Completely fine. I mean, there's other guys that are extraneous from the type, but the type is dark eyes. Well, it can be blue eyes too. I enjoy blue eyes, but definitely dark eyes, dark hair, curly on the curly side. I mean, and skin tone can range anywhere from, you know, like, it could be a black man, or it can be like, you know, Tom Ellis, the whitest person on the planet. It doesn't fucking matter. I just know that is my.
Yep.
Yeah.
He is attractive.
Yep.
Yep. Anywho, that is my Zafir.
God bless America.
Or Pakistan.
Or Pakistan, or just. No, I end up saying that, and this time, holy God. All right, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole later with that gentleman.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is my type. I come to the conclusion, he's my type.
Yep.
Yep.
Shall we discuss what we are reading?
Yeah, let's do that.
What are you reading?
Where's my list here? So I just finished a review. It's up, so I'm not going to go too much into it. Just The Good Girl's Guide to Rakes. I think I've talked about it enough tonight. Go read it. It's on the website. I enjoyed it. It's historical romance. Not enemies to lovers. I know, shock, but more angst than I normally would have.
Right.
And the book I'm reading currently, because I need to write a review by Tuesday on, and I'm enjoying heartily. I'm about 30% through. Called The Rake Gets Ravished by Sophie Jordan. And I did the mistake of reading a review ahead of time, another person's review. And she was like, yes, I can't believe this, because what it's set up is, she goes, her brother has, lost the family farm in gambling, and so she goes to like steal the wager back from this gambling hell owner, and so she sneaks in. He catches her, and she seduces him, and he thinks, and she's a virgin, obviously, and sneaks and thieves away with the wager, and he finds. I mean, it's just one of those like she's like, I can't believe that somebody who's been a virgin would be able to do that. I'm like, well, hate to break it to you. And then they explain why she knows. They explain why she knows like all of this information, like why she is skilled in sexual and seduction, and it makes sense. Like when she, I mean, it's not like she'll have to suspend her disbelief a little bit, but it's not like out of the realm of possibility. So I'm enjoying so far. What about you?
Okay, so first of all, major shout out to listener Janky or Janky. I assume it's Janky. I'm not sure. In London, for sending us an amazing email this week that really just like, or maybe it was last week. It's really been a blur. She just like made my fucking week by sending us an email to talk about the podcast. But in the email, she specifically was like, if you have not read Sally Thorne's 99% Mine yet, you should, because there is an epilogue to the hating game in 99% Mine. So it just so happened that like twice in the week leading up to Valentine's Day, there was like sales on romance novels on Amazon. And so one of them was 99% Mine. So I had bought it because I heard that there was an epilogue and there was like some review that mentioned it. So I was like, okay, for $1 or like whatever it was, I will totally get that. So anyway, I opened that up today after I had finished this one, Take a Hint, Dani Brown. And it's, it's not super long, so it was easy to get through. So that was nice to like get some conclusion. It was something that you and I had talked about like in the episode where we were bothered that we didn't really know what happened with like the promotion and stuff. So you get like a conclusion there.
Does it kind of match the movie a little bit? Because in the movie you kind of know what happens.
Yeah, for sure. She gets the promotion and like he's off at his new job. So anyway, shout out to Janky for sending us an email, because I really enjoyed that. But really what I then am going to start, and I know that you don't enjoy this, but it was another one that was on sale for like the Valentine's Day stuff. It Happened One Summer from Tessa Bailey. I just started that. So yeah, that's about it. And she does have another one coming out in that series like next month. And I am eagerly awaiting the next installment of Greer Rivers. I'm forgetting. I think it's A Toning Conviction is the next one. It's book 5 in that series. Just waiting with bated breath.
Wow.
Yes, I'm very excited.
I'm very excited, guys.
I'm very excited. I'm just super excited. I want to know the conclusion of the story. This one in particular is going to be really intense.
Yeah.
For reasons that I don't want to explain unless you've read the entire series. Otherwise, it's a major fucking spoiler. Anywho, what are you listening to?
Okay, so I don't have a podcast, guys, because at this point, like, I'm on 2 podcasts, and I work all the time, and I'm down a YouTube rabbit hole.
And you also have 2 podcasts.
Huh?
You also have 2 podcasts.
Well, I said I'm on 2 podcasts. Oh,
yes, okay.
Yeah, I'm on 2 podcasts. So I haven't really listened to anything new podcast-wise.
Fair. I mean, I haven't either.
So I'm just going to recommend something that just tickled my fancy last week, and I sat and binged the whole fucking thing on Sunday. It was Around the World 80 Days with David Tennant on PBS Masterpiece. If you watch it, fucking watch it.
Yeah,
David Tennant's got a sweet little mustache. Reminds me of Ted Lasso.
Awesome.
And it's fucking David Tennant.
I love it.
And there's and his 2 like, it's Doctor Who in the Victorian England. I mean, that's really what it is. Because he's got 2 companions that go with him on these travels, and they're falling in love. So I'm all about that. It's just all the characters are great. Totally watch it.
Love that.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Not what we usually do, but I said fuck it.
I don't
Guess
care.
what? It's our podcast. We do what the fuck we want.
It's our podcast. We do what the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not listened to anything new. I've been catching up on your other podcast as well as Knowledge Fight. So,
Yeah, I mean, again, I think we do this every week, but listen to Knowledge Fight if you haven't, please do.
Holy shit.
They definitely start talking about Twilight characters.
Oh my fucking God. I texted you and I was like, dude, they're talking about Twilight.
Yeah, because I have the theory that I'm being haunted by Twilight because it's on all the fucking time.
Right.
And
As one does.
It's been haunting me. Yeah, it's been haunting. Every time I turn the television on, it's like, oh, would you like to watch New Moon? No, I would not like to watch New Moon. Thank you very much. I'd like to watch the new Batman movie with fucking J.
Robert
Pats.
Pattinson? Oh.
Yeah, or not J. Pats, R. Pats. That's it. R. Pats, yeah.
I would watch it.
Yeah. Anywho, yeah, okay, so we don't have a book right now.
Oh my God, yeah, so are we going to spin the wheel? So here's the deal.
Yeah.
Coming up, we want to do the Viscount Who Loved Me. However, that episode is going to come out on March 22nd, and then we're going to watch the second season of Bridgerton, which is based on the Viscount Who Loved Me. That season is released on Netflix on March 25th. We will do a page to screen on the 29th somehow. We'll just have to watch a lot of Netflix in a very short period of time.
Not hard.
I hope
for
it's
me,
hard.
not hard. I don't have a life, so it's not hard for me.
We'll figure it out. Regardless. So the point is, we have a week of a blank spot. So shall we spin the wheel?
Guys, the wheel's back!
The wheel is back!
I'm a wheel watcher!
We have like 10 or 11 books that are from our OG list that are by female authors because March is Women's History Month, which is typically not an issue to find, romance novels written by women. So we just prioritize
We do have a couple
them.
dudes on ours. So.
We do have a couple dudes on ours, so we just bumped to the bottom of the list for now.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. We'll read you later.
Do you want me to hit the button?
Winnie, it's cool. Chill. Whoa. Why? Whoa.
She's talking, man.
What is the matter with you? Everything's fine. What are you? I was just cussing at random people. That's normal. All right. Yeah, spin the wheel. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. Everything's fine. Come here.
Spinning that wheel. I'm a wheel watcher. I'm a wheel watcher. Oh, what's it gonna land on? It has landed on 12.
All right. What the fuck is 12?
12 is... no trespassing?
Ooh.
Wait,
I've wanted to read this.
Yeah, we did 3 through 13.
Yeah, we did 3 through 13. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so No Trespassing by Katie Robichaux. I've wanted to read something from her. We follow her on TikTok. Oh, I'm excited about this. I've been wanting to read something from her.
I'm looking at me. Being the daughter of world-renowned archaeologist. Okay, you got me right there. I love that. Being the daughter of world-renowned archaeologists, it's in Emmy's blood to want to entering into the many off-limit historical places around the United States. Having graduated with her degrees in history and archaeology, you're getting me. You're getting me.
It's
Katie,
supposed to be like National Treasure. I mean, it's very short. It's only 191 pages.
Oh, really? Okay.
Apparently.
The only thing I think I'm going to say is the cover has no bearing on this fucking, I would not have honestly, I'm not going to lie, I would have been turned off by this book. By the cover.
Do you want to pick something else?
No.
We can.
I'm into it. No, I'm into it. I said, but if I had seen that cover, I'd been like, okay, this looks like he's possibly, so let me finish reading the thing. Dean Savageman, host of Adventure Channel's No Trespassing, is the rock star of documentaries and is always called first to explore the most forgotten, dangerous, and inaccessible places across the country. No one gets dibs before him, certainly not the huffy wannabe archaeologist who keeps showing up. See, I love this. I think that's adorable.
Right.
But that cover, while that guy is very good looking, it would have turned me off. I've been like, okay, whatever. I don't think it's
particularly descriptive.
No,
of the book. However, I also know from knowing a romance author that books with shirtless men on the cover sell more.
I'm just wishing.
So respect on that.
No, 100%. But it looked like, and this is just my own personal preference, and I'm like, 10-1 books like that, like with this, are not my cup of tea.
Sure,
because it's
fair.
not going to. And at the same time, somebody might not want a bodice ripper front of their book.
Sure.
Like I enjoy.
Yeah,
like some
fine.
of them are absolutely fucking gorgeous. Some of them are fucking Fabio. Totally get it. But I also, honestly, you know, to me, one of the best newer books is that Virginia Heath, Never Fall for Your Fiancé. I love that cover. Mm-hmm. It's super cute. It's like just cartoony drawn.
Yeah.
No, even take a hint. It's super cute.
Right. It's like that. It's what do I say?
This
like in Vogue. Like it's
nothing.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't.
It looks like it possibly would be something about like NASCAR.
Maybe. I don't know, but I would.
Or boxing.
Maybe jump him.
So, I mean, the given. It's a given.
Duh. This
right,
is.
Like, yeah.
I wouldn't say this is one of her more popular ones. Like, I think she has other ones that are far more popular, but like this premise got me. So I put this on the list like a billion years ago.
I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I love it. It sounds super cute. It would be something I would have watched if it was a movie.
Sure.
100%. It's like
gonna be. It's short.
Stone.
I didn't realize
Love
how
it.
short it was, or I may not have put it on the list. But I'm still excited about it.
We're gonna have a very busy March.
Yes, you and I are gonna have a very busy March. So maybe that's like a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we got fucking 8 hours of Bridgerton
to watch. Yep. Yeah, that's fine. I'm excited. I've been wanting to read this one, so that works out.
I'm excited. Thank you, Katie, for this what sounds to be like right up my alley.
Thanking you.
Yeah.
She did tell us to tag her on TikTok when this came up, and that she would.
And it's no hate. I mean, like if she listens to this, and I hope she's not offended. But I'm just like, that's just it's and it's not her. Obviously, it's not probably her choice. I mean, it's her choice, but like.
Let me look at when was
like,
published.
So
2016. This was published. 6 years ago.
So this was before
just
the
over
lie.
5 years ago. So like things were different. Like covers change. Like in, you know.
Well, if you look at her other book, Before the Lie, it's literally just a shirtless guy or a guy with his shirt open, and his pants are just. I mean, his cum gutters are out. Like it's just cum. It should just be called cum gutters, which I would respect it more if it was called cum gutters. Not that I don't disrespect it, but I'm just like, yep.
Oh well.
You know, to each their own, right?
What?
To each their own. I mean, it's not. It's like it's just
right.
It doesn't
to each
bring
their
me
own.
in.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
One thing you and I have both like unanimously decided that we don't want to read books that are like based on the author's true story, but the blogger diaries are based off of her and her husband.
Oh, nope. Peace out.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like they're not on there for us because it's just you and I are not into it. But yeah, I think her like Club Alias novels are her biggest sellers.
Oh.
But this one sounded more interesting to me. I don't know.
No, I'm for it.
I'm into it.
I'm into it. Oh, because the girl on the cover is her of the Blocker Diaries, right?
Yes, it's her and her husband. That's her husband.
Wait, where? All right, okay.
Yep.
I mean, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. He is featured on her TikTok.
Oh, okay, cool.
Anywho, I'm excited. I've been wanting to read
too.
something from her.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so does that wrap? Should we tell people where they can find us?
Yeah, let me pull. I should have fucking had that pulled up. Actually, I just closed it and had all that stuff in there. All right, the website, which will be updated shortly. I was getting close, guys. I was so close for so long. ChickLitBookClubPodcast.com. The Twitter is @ChickLitPodcast. TikTok is ChickLitBookClub. Pinterest is our Chicklit Book Club Podcast. Email is chicklitbookclubpodcast@gmail.com. Instagram is Chicklit Book Club Podcast. Our YouTube is our YouTube. There's a link in the description. Mm-hmm. Facebook, Facebook, whatever. Our next door, kidding, we don't have a next door. Patreon, we might as well. Our Patreon, we have a link to our Patreon. We have a number of different levels in our Patreon. Hi, Shani.
Have we actually set them up yet? We need to do that.
We decided on them. But
we decided on them, but we maybe haven't set them. We'll check it out.
Yeah.
We are organized.
We are super organized.
Yeah.
We also have a Redbubble store that I will be loading with stuff. Oh, no, there's a shirt already up there. There is a shirt already up on our Redbubble store. We should probably link to it in the description.
Probably should.
Which I will. Yeah.
Buy the merch things.
Yeah.
Okay, so that takes care of us, I guess.
We do. We do.
As we do. How do we end this thing?
Oh, the most fucking annoying way possible, man.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
That's right. I mean, Safe Light Repair, Safe Light
Replace.
Yeah.
Sponsor us,
Adam and Eve sponsor us. Yeah. Send us some dildos or whatever.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, right.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
Bye! Just never not funny to me.
No, it's not, because I just know people are like, fuck you, and their ear holes are just like, nope.
They just turn it off before that. They're like, fuck this. You guys are so annoying. Once we get to like the gas, we're like, fuck this. Or like at least once we get to like that, where do you find us? They know what's coming, so they just turn it off.
They're like, drag it over to the recycle bin.
Fuck this. Delete. Click.
We're done with this bullshit. These two fucking bitches.
We understand. We really do.
We do.
If you have constructive criticism on how you'd rather us end the show, you let us know, and maybe we'll take that into consideration.
We will consider it, but we'll probably still keep fucking doing this.
Considering it. Also, if you rate us and review us on the Apple Podcast app, we'll send you a magnet. You just have to screenshot us your review. That's all. Yep. Do that.
Coolio. If you're going, if anybody out there is going to that Star Wars hotel, write us in and tell us how it went.
Mm-hmm. Take photos. Let us know.
Yeah, because it looks like a garbage. So please let us know
hot garbage.
Hot garbage, and then I can ask you why you paid $6,000 for it. Anyhow, cool guys.
All right, y'all. We'll see you later.
Bye.